Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to incorporate Photoshop into some of our editing. So what we do is we find a clip where we find a character we quite like. So I'm going to choose this image here, and what I'm going to do is at that point I'm going to cut it down. So currently all we will have is just this clip like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the final snippet of that clip, so the last frame of the clip, and I'm going to go to here and click export frame. I'm then going to name that, and then I'm going to put it in the correct folder. So for now, I will just put it on my desktop so that I can find it. And I'm just going to click OK. So now what I want to do is I want to take that image into Photoshop. So we load up Photoshop, we go to open, and we find wherever our clip is. So mine's in my desktop, and it will be called Matt. So okay, so there's the clip. So what we've got now is we've got our clip. So we've got to really concentrate now because this is a lot different to anything we've done before. So the first thing you want to do is go to your quick selection tool and put it onto the plus and up your size up a little bit. This can work with any footage, and I'm just going to select the person and then deselect the background. Okay, so we need to make sure we've got almost all of our person. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a mask, but I'm going to duplicate it, and you can right click and click duplicate layer. So I'm just going to create the mask by clicking the button here. So now what we'll have is this, and we can feather that out a little bit just to clean it up. So now on one layer we've got that, and the other layer we have this. So now what I want to do is I want to take that selection. So select again, deselect the background, and what I want to do is I want to create a content aware fill. And you do that by going to edit and content aware fill. Sometimes it works fantastically, sometimes it doesn't work as well. But in this occasion it's worked okay, and I'm going to teach you how to change that. So we're going to put that onto our current layer. So we're going to click apply, and then we're going to click OK. So currently what we've got is this. So what we need to do is we need to clean that up. So how we do that is we go to our spot healing tool and we size that up a little bit, and we just go around this section. And as you see, they start to kind of blend. So it doesn't need to be amazing because it's only going to be on for a couple of seconds, but it still needs to be passable. So if we have any issues, we just size up a bit more and we go again. And the nice thing is this is a blurred background, so what we can do is we can take our blur tool and just clean it up a little bit with the blur. Okay, so now what we've got is we've got our foreground there and our background separated. So now what we need to do is we need to save those out. So save as, save on your computer, and I'm just going to save this one as a PNG and call it back or background, and then save this one out, making sure that it's empty and we've got a transparent layer. We need to make sure we 100% save this out as a PNG. If you don't save it out as a PNG, then you will have a background on it and it won't work. So what we do is we go back into Photoshop now, Premiere now. We find where they are. So mine are in desktop. We go to wherever it is through all my games. So back we import in, and then front we import in. And then what we do is we put the back layer on the same layer as the character. So now it will look like this. Okay. And the front layer on top. So now what we've got is we've got this, and it will look like a freeze frame, and that's great. So what we want to do is we want to now bring that up to the next layer, and find some footage we want to put below to transition into. So I'm just going to take some footage from last time, copy that, paste it, and then bring it underneath. Okay, so now it'll go to that next piece of footage. So what we want to do is we now want to animate. So we take our top layer and we start with position. So what I want to do is I want him to swipe downwards. So how we do that is we do position, and that's our starting point. So we click on our stopwatch and then we click our position. We go a little bit away and we go down. Okay, so currently what we'll have is this. Currently it's too slow, so we just pull it in a little bit and have like a wipe. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to right click on these once they're selected, do temporal isolation, ease in. It'll make it a little bit cleaner. Okay, so we've animated that. And what I want to do is to that, I want to go to effects in the effects tab at the bottom, or it could be on the right hand side depending on what mode you're on. And then I want to type in camera blur. What we'll have then is a effect that we can put on the top. And as you can see currently, it's just blurred him. And what we want to do is we want to keyframe that as well. So at the end, we want it to be 25, and at the start, we want it to be 0. So now it'll look like that. So it will kind of blend out. So now what we need is to get rid of the other layer here. So this is our background layer. So we want that to swipe out to the left or right, or we could swipe it out down or up or down. But I'm going to do it for this example, left or right. So we go onto our position tab, we keyframe it again, we work out where he's gone, and then we make sure that ours are swiped by that time. So now what we have is this. So as you can see, it swipes out and shows our new layer. What I don't like about this is how it kind of just goes quite blocky. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mask it. So using my mask tool, I've added a mask, and we just need to create the nice little mask around. It doesn't have to be too clean. Then what we do is we create our path, bring it to where it should finish or almost finish, and then pull our mask so that it kind of pulls around a little bit, making a more interesting shape. And then what we can do is we can feather that, just cleaning it up. So now it's going to look more like this. Okay, so you get a cool transition. And what we could even do, so while that's coming out, we could go onto our clip below and we could set that so that by that time it starts to bounce in. Okay, so now we'll be given this. Okay, so it bounces into our clip. So your keyframes are really important, so it's definitely something you want to look at. Okay, we'll stop there.